we'll pick this one up next because it speaks to where I think the sort of value equation around AI. And this was another article I think you pulled up called Augmented Intelligence. What is it? Yeah, so Augmented Intelligence is the name of the company. I just wanted to validate that is coming to market. I guess they've come out of stealth, bringing what they're calling a mix of symbolic AI and generative AI. And I'm really curious. Well, in fact, I'm really curious to hear your take on this because I read it with interest and then was sort of like it left me sort of flat. I was sort of disappointed with it, but it does point out something that I do believe in. So I'm curious what your take is before I chime in.
Yes. So the news story itself, I would say, is not super special. They raised $44 million. One of their investors is former IBM and Red Hat executive Jim Whitehurst, who has been a fantastic operator as an executive. So all that's interesting, and their approach at Augmented Intelligence is combining generative AI or neural networks along with symbolic AI, which is just a fancy way of talking about the rules-based automation that we have previously used to talk about AI. If you talked about AI 5 or 10 years ago, you would be talking about basically a complex set of rules, but not necessarily getting to kind of an environmental algorithm the way that we do today with generative AI. So being able to combine these capabilities together is just another step forward in making AI smarter. We're already talking about AI combined with retrieval augmented generation and with other systems to be able to get more fact-based outcomes. And I see this as another piece of the puzzle to bring things together and bringing in some of the older AI capabilities into the modern AI world that haven't been well integrated yet. And so that's an interesting potential capability. It's not that we are reinventing AI as much as starting to bring all the pieces together to a greater extent.
So the part of this that I agree with and that I think does make some sense is that, I talked a little while ago about the fact that that there's only going to be one or two winners in the big foundational models, and the most of the value is going to be generated, with this more targeted applicability. Well, one of the ways that I think that happens is this mixing of technologies. I do not believe that most value is going to get created by simply slapping a generative AI engine on top of something. It's going to be having to mix things together. And fundamentally, what what augmented intelligence is bringing to market is that it's something that is combining two forms of technology to try to deliver what it claims are better results. The reason it left me a little flat is that what they're saying that it generates doesn't seem all that different from what the current generative AI players are already talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, this may be a messaging issue. Maybe they just aren't doing a good enough job of communicating how their approach to the technology is going to provide less hallucination and better grounded results and what have you. But where, the quotes in here just didn't leave me going, oh, wow, that's amazing, right? We've done other reviews of other emerging technologies, mostly still in the research stage, where we're going, wow, if that comes true, then that's phenomenal. And I didn't get that sense here. But nevertheless, I do think that the idea of figuring out how to mix the best technology for the job and to bring them together to solve specific issues, I think is this right and smart move. I think the issue they're having, particularly as far as augmented intelligence, is that I don't know that they have identified that narrow specific problem they're trying to solve better. They're simply trying to say by mixing symbolic and generative, you get a better result, and I'm just not sure that's true.
Right. They know they want something more accurate. What actually will get us there at the end of the day is still very shaky. And we're looking at a lot of different approaches right now. Of course, sorry to bring this up one more time, but at Dreamforce, Salesforce pushed the need to create agents for every single process that already existed and having better integration into your data schema. And that's going to be an approach that you probably see from a lot of platform players as well. So we're going to see all these different approaches for how to integrate modern AI with 20, 30, 40 years of data investment and workflow investment.